Look at this adorable little 8-year-old with those big innocent eyes and the sweet needy demeanor. You just want to pinch those cheeks, don't you? But hold on a second. Stop right there with the sympathy and the cuteness overloaded. Because guess what? This oh so pitiable kiddo happens to be the youngest serial killer India has ever seen. I know. Sounds straight out of a bizarre crime drama, right? Imagine getting scolded by this little tyke. No dessert for you today. But hey, wanna hear about my latest victim? Unbelievable. Yet, here we are.
It's May 30, 2007. A call is frantically placed to the local police station near Musagri village. A wary policeman picks up the phone, already dreading another complaint about missing chickens or wandering cows. But this time it's different. The caller, breathless and panicked, declared they got a very cruel serial killer. If the police come immediately, they can arrest him on the spot. The policeman raises an eyebrow. Musagri is a sleepy village with just a few houses. A serial killer in their midst? This has to be a prank, right? After the call ends, curiosity gets the better of them, and 2 or 3 policemen head to the village. As they arrive, they are greeted by a sea of villagers, all standing in front of a modest house, shouting and gesticulating wildly. The policemen push their way through the crowd, expecting to find a hulking figure with a menacing glare. Instead, their jaws drop as they see the serial killer, a small boy no more than 8 years old, standing there in an inner vest looking as innocent as can be. Amarjeet was born into a poor family in Musagri village, Bihar in 1998. His father was a laborer finding work wherever he could, and his mother a housewife struggling to make ends meet. Amarjeet's early years were marked by deprivation, but his parents were relieved that raising a child didn't cost them much. By the time he was 8, Amarjeet's strange behavior had become apparent. He laughed excessively, causing people to avoid him. When denied something he wanted, he would destroy whatever he could get his hands on. His tantrums were legendary, and he found joy in the misery of others. His parents, chalking it up to the childish antics, never imagined the darkness brewing within their son. In 2006, a fateful event took place. Amarjeet's aunt came to the house with a 6-month-old baby. Desperate for money, she pleaded with Amarjeet's mother to take care of the baby while she worked. Amarjeet's mother initially refused but agreed when offered some money. As soon as the aunt left, the baby began to cry. Amarjeet's mother tried to soothe the child while Amarjeet stood aside, a sinister smile playing on his lips. Over the next week, whenever the baby was left alone, Amarjeet would pinch its cheek or slap it, finding immense pleasure in its cries. One day, Amarjeet's father went out to find work, and his mother had to buy vegetables. She swaddled the baby and left, instructing Amarjeet to watch over it. As soon as she left, Amarjeet's eyes gleamed with mischief. He approached the baby, and the rest, as they say, is a chilling tale that shocked the entire village. Amarjeet looked out of the window and saw his mother had gone far away. Once he was sure she was out of sight, he ran to the child lying peacefully in the pot. No one to pass up an opportunity for mischief, he pinched the baby's cheeks. The baby woke up screaming, a sound that brought Amarjeet immense joy. He then did the unthinkable. He wrapped his tiny hands around the baby's neck and squeezed the baby. The baby couldn't do anything as the seconds ticked by. 15 to 20 minutes later, his mother returned. She found Amarjeet playing with his toys, looking innocent enough except for the small stains on his body and hands. Panic set in as she saw the empty pot. She turned to Amarjeet, demanding to know where his brother was. Amarjeet, still engrossed in his toys, acted as if he didn't hear her. Growing more frantic, she asked again, her voice rising. Amarjeet finally responded, "Brother will be here only, go search him." Her fear grew. "I asked you to take care of him. Did you hide him and now you're playing with me? If you hide him somewhere, insects will bite him. Show me where he is." Amarjeet stood up and nonchalantly led her to the backyard. The silence was unnerving. He pointed to a spot and said, "He's here." She saw nothing and accused Amarjeet of playing a cruel game. He coldly replied, "He's inside the mud." With a sinking heart, she dug into the ground and found the baby, lifeless and buried. Anger and sorrow surged through her. She struck Amarjeet, who yelled in pain. Despite their horror, his parents couldn't bring themselves to call the police. After all, he was just a child, their child. When his father came home that evening, his wife tearfully recounted the day's events. Enraged, he beat Amarjeet with a belt, asking if he had raised a monster. But love tempered his fury. He questioned Amarjeet about what happened. Amarjeet, with chilling calmness, confessed he was crying. So I choked him. When he didn't stop, I hit him with a brick and he died. I didn't know what to do, so I buried him. The parents were in disbelief. They decided to keep the incident a secret, fearing the consequences if the truth got out. They hoped that time would help them forget. A month passed and Amarjeet's aunt returned to see her child. His parents, burdened with guilt, confessed everything. Her sister, despite a heartbreak, agreed to keep the secret. 6 months later, Amarjeet's mother gave birth to another child, a girl. As soon as he saw her, he flashed his trademark evil smile. His parents, hoping he had learned from his mistake, instructed him to take care of his sister, positioning him as a guardian. Amarjeet smiled and kissed the baby, giving his parents a false sense of security. 2 months passed peacefully. Then one afternoon, while everyone else was asleep, Amarjeet decided it was time for another sinister game. He approached the cradle where his sister slept, placed his hands on her neck and squeezed until she stopped moving. He then returned to his toys as if nothing had happened. When his mother woke up and went to check on the baby, she found her daughter lifeless, her body cold and discolored. She ran to her husband, who immediately suspected Amarjeet. Confronting him, Amarjeet admitted with a smile, "I killed her." In a fit of rage, his father beat him mercilessly, but the neighbors, hearing the commotion, intervened. Despite their anger, the parents again chose not to involve the police, begging the neighbors to keep quiet. Time passed, and the family, along with the villagers, began to forget. They buried their dark secret, pretending it never happened, hoping to escape the shadow of Amarjeet's evil act.
Coming back to May 30, 2007, Amarjeet started another twisted escape. A woman named Chanchan Devi had to leave her 8-month-old baby in the classroom while she went to the ration shop, as it seemed the safest place beyond the reach of strangers. Amarjeet, with his keen ears, heard the baby crying. His curiosity piqued. He peered over the walls, located the classroom, and saw the child sleeping in the separate cradle. Slipping into the room unnoticed, he took the baby and vanished. Time ticked by, and Chanchan Devi returned to find the cradle empty. Panic-stricken, she started screaming. School staff and villagers gathered as she cried, explaining that she had left her baby in the classroom while she ran an errand, only to come back and find the child missing. The villagers assured her that the baby must be nearby and joined the search, but the child was nowhere to be found. Word quickly spread, reaching Amarjeet's neighbors. They immediately suspected him, urging Chanchan Devi to follow them to his house, where they believed they might find her child. A crowd formed outside Amarjeet's home, shouting accusations. His parents came out, trying to calm the situation, but the villagers were relentless. Chanchan Devi, in tears, pleaded for her baby's return, stating that her husband would beat her if the child wasn't found. Amarjeet's parents were bewildered, denying that their son couldn't have taken the baby. The villagers demanded evidence, to which parents responded by asking for proof before they would call Amarjeet. But Chanchan Devi fell at their feet, begging for the return of her baby. Finally, Amarjeet emerged from the house, and the crowd roared that he is the murderer. With a sinister smile, Amarjeet confessed, "Are you asking about that child? That child is in the garden behind the school. Go and see if you want." Confused and desperate, Chunchan Devi ran to the garden with some villagers following her. There she found a new earthen pot, but paid it little mind initially. Crying out for her child, she found no response until a neighbor inspected the pot, revealing the lifeless body of the 8-month-old baby. The villagers were incensed, declaring that they could no longer tolerate Amarjeet's heinous acts. They marched back to his home just as the police arrived. Amarjeet was arrested and his parents were interrogated, revealing a history of sinister deeds. In the court, due to his young age of 8, Amarjeet received a mere 3-year sentence, followed by placement in juvenile home until he turned 18. Psychiatrists diagnosed him with conduct disorder, explaining that his brain's chemical imbalance caused him to derive pleasure from others' suffering and left him unable to distinguish right from wrong. This chilling tale ends with an unexpected twist. Amarjeet, the youngest serial killer in the world, was released from the juvenile home in 2017 at the age of 18. With a new name and identity, he is rumored to be living somewhere in India. However, despite his dark past, Amarjeet has turned his life around. Under professional guidance and care, he has become a model citizen, dedicating his life to helping others and ensuring no one suffers that the way he did. The life of Amarjeet serves as a grim reminder that true evil can lurk behind the most innocent of faces, but also a testament to the potential for redemption and change. Some shadows may never fully disappear, but with right support, even the darkest past can find the light of new beginning. So, if you survived this roller coaster of a story and didn't end up in a therapy, why not hit that subscribe button? After all, if a kid who turned his life around can get a second chance, surely you can give our channel a chance of proving us again and again too. Remember, hitting that subscribe button won't get you a new identity, but it might just keep you entertained enough to forget about your own existential crisis. Until then, it's Team Enigma Paradox signing off.